can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a Friday transmission you don't want to miss. The news, the good, the bad, and the ugly is off the charts important. And quite frankly, riveting and sensational. I'm in a good focus mood. And we've got 3 or 4 amazing guests. Max Kaiser in the third hour to break down the accelerating global financial meltdown that he's accurately predicted. Dr. Ron Paul, the former congressman, with a lot of key intel, will be joining us as well. Mark Harrington, who shot the video of the troll, real live troll that actually showed up in Cincinnati, Ohio, running around attacking pro-lifers. He's going to be joining us to talk about the harrowing tale coming face-to-face with Grendel's mother. And then we've got Joe Biggs, who got some amazing video with our own Joe Jennings out in Southern California, actually 100 miles from the border. They've been down to the border as well. They're in Marietta with La Raza vowing to help get the illegals in. I don't know why they need to vow to help get the illegals in. I mean, Rick Perry says put drones on the border. He's asking Obama to what? Help pick up more people better and then put them on buses to ship them into welfare centers to be signed up as Democratic voters? I mean, that's the issue we're missing here. The Border Patrol picks them up and then ships them out everywhere and releases them. 4 weeks ago, we had an ICE agent, senior, with his voice disguised. There's a gag order. In the truck with us, we went and met him in the field, recorded it, changed his voice, telling us what the head of the Border Patrol union already said and the deputy head, the vice president, months ago. There's an ordered stand down, and they let them out at night. Just let them out in cities. They take them to churches and schools and then use that to infiltrate the people. They just dump them out and say, go to this welfare place. The trolley's right over there. The bus station's right over there. Here's your voucher. After busing them deeper in. That's the big kahuna. That's the big issue hiding in plain view. The Border Patrol's told you. ICE has told you. We've told you. It's confirmed. But the media, even Republican-dominated media, like Fox News, still acts like they don't know what's going on. But Sean Hannity last night had a guest on, Border Patrol agent, Hector Garza, and he said, listen, the Border Patrol completes the smuggling process. And that's what I've been saying. That's what I was saying to the Border Patrol yesterday, you know, shouting over Biggs, who was then repeating the questions. And again, I don't even blame the Border Patrol, but they're the people doing it. I get they don't want to do it. I get they know it's illegal. I know they're blowing the whistle. Doesn't matter. They're still following orders. It'd be like if I loved a firearm, but somebody used it to kill me. I mean, I don't like the firearm at the point somebody's using it to kill me. I'm not against the Border Patrol. I like the Border Patrol. It's one of the only constitutional federal agencies. They're certainly not perfect and have their share of problems. But they're committing the crime. And I'm going to say this again. Even if you want totally open borders to collapsing Latin America, do you want a government that can put laws on us but doesn't follow them? That is the definition, the creme de la creme, the cream of the cream when you talk about tyranny. It's so dangerous, I don't even know what to say at this point. If people don't understand, this means we're collapsing, we're going into lawlessness, and the public will stop following the law. The governments can quit. There's no legitimacy. It means civil war. And libertarians, which I am one, can argue all day, well, let's get rid of the borders. Let's just have war on the streets. You don't want that with 101 million people that don't know how to tie their shoelaces and are on welfare. I mean, Ron Paul's right. We need to get out of this incrementally, seriously, like you get somebody off heroin.
Celebrate the spirit of freedom and liberty upon which our nation was founded at InfoWarsShop.com. Molon Lave is ancient Greek for come and take it. This popular design combines both classic Greek Spartan imagery with modern M16 assault rifles. Now available in women's tees and proudly made in the USA. Celebrate the spirit of 1776 with the George Washington brass belt buckle or this incredibly sharp-looking 1776 hat. Badass. And be sure to check out the new arrivals at InfoWars Life. where you can prepare your body to perform at peak levels with Survival Shield Nascent Iodine, Super Male Vitality, and Fluoride Shield. And wake up, America. Immune Support Blend is the healthy choice for the gourmet coffee lover. So get incredibly high-quality, freedom-based products and help fund the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.
We have Joe Biggs and Joe Jennings, reporters on the ground still in Southern California. They've been down to the border and up 100-plus miles away in Marietta, where the Border Patrol is busing the illegals in and then policing citizens, telling them they can't be on right-of-ways off major roads, trying to order the police to throw them off. And the Border Patrol does not look happy when they walk up and say, I'm just following orders, get off this sidewalk. And then our guys say no, and the Border Patrol backs off because we've confirmed, not just through our reporters, but through other Border Patrol in Texas and in California, that they are refusing to arrest the demonstrators. And so are the police. And the word is the county sheriff has ordered arrest. That was in the news a few days ago, but it didn't happen. So they're just holding the buses or diverting them to San Diego. That's what's happening because the police are not following the orders. So I'm criticizing them, but at least they're not doing that. And they'll probably get in trouble to arrest people on a sidewalk legally and lawfully. And to arrest people that are ready to be arrested when they come block the buses that are illegal. And then bust them into the middle of the town to turn the people loose. I mean, this is crazy. Until you realize that it is meant to elicit and trigger even more people on these dozens of trains that arrive a day from Guatemala that go all the way through Mexico, disgorging tens of thousands a day. Each train carries between 1,000 and 5,000 souls. So you're hearing numbers about tens of thousands a week. It's tens of thousands a day. And again, it's bigger than just these poor immigrants who are pawns in the game. It's much bigger than them. It's about a government so illegitimate, so lawless that it could do this. I'm going to be breaking that down. Max Kaiser comes on about the global accelerated divergence away from the dollar that's now happening. It's now officially happening. I don't know if it can be reversed. We'll talk to him. But this is pretty much most economists now agree that it's the end of the dollar age coming. May take a year, may take 3 years, but maybe next week. It's kind of like when you had 6 or 7 heart attacks and you're 85 years old and you know you could die any day. You might live 2 years. All I know is we're sitting on top of a mountain of political, socio-economic TNT. And the Federal Reserve and the globalists are dancing around with flaming flamethrowers, shooting them in the air around the TNT. We got Max Kaiser coming up, Ron Paul, Mark Harrington, who actually had the encounter with the goblin creature in Cincinnati, Ohio, that was running around attacking pro-lifers. He actually saw one of the creatures. He will be joining us to report on this. The video is on Infowars.com. And then we've got, again, Joe Biggs joining us coming up here in about 20 minutes. Before I go any further, this is one of the days where I look at the news and I say to myself, you've got to hit this, Jones. You've never succeeded in just reading the headlines. Can you once just do your job? We're going to try again right now. When you first don't succeed, try again. And again, it's like the owl in the old ad that says, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? A 1, a 2, a 3, crunch, a 3. The world will never know what is in these stacks of news, because I never get to more than some shows. I get to like 100 pieces of news. That's a blue moon. Let's just get into it here, ladies and gentlemen. First stack: federal judge orders IRS to explain lost emails. AP, National Review, to impeach Holder. House Republicans are getting more traction with the idea that impeaching the president himself. I agree, it's a nice hors d'oeuvre to start with. That'll crack open the whole nest, because you bring him down, that's what's blocking the whole criminal operation from coming out. GOP congressman, we must file a resolution directing the sergeant-at-arms to arrest Lois Lerner for contempt. Now you're talking. Resolution submitted to hold Lois Lerner in contempt. Congress takes first step towards arrest, jailing a former IRS division chief who's been caught red-handed. You bring her down, the whole house of stinking filth goes down. And it'll be a devastating victory and will scare the hell out of the corrupt Republican leadership as well. We'll start impeaching them next. We could rout the entire enemy and save the republic if we just believed it and stop believing the government-run 501c3 churches that are telling you it's the end of the world in 1989, in 1992, in 1997, and 2007. Listen, justice be done, may the heavens fall. I'm going to go out and face corruption and not cop out and say it's the end of the world and the Antichrist. And praise the Lord, they're putting chips in the troops' brains now to make them behave. That means Antichrist will be here soon, and I'll get my free ride to heaven. You think you're going to get a free ride sitting there on your butt saying, praise the Lord, that world government's being formed and pedophilia is being legalized in Australia? And you're doing nothing to stop it? Praise the Lord, there's all these abortions. I'm not going to go out and protest them. I'm just going to wait for my golden rope to come down, and I'm going to get teleported up there to the deck of the Enterprise because, you know, you got St. Michael and all of them up there, and they energize you, and you bzzz up to heaven. You know, you get raptured out of it. Of course, isn't in the Bible until the end of the Antichrist and the rest of it, and the dead in Christ are raised. You can go read it. A 5-year-old can understand it. And no doctrine was taught until 200 years ago that was going on. But even if you don't believe in God, the point is evil's taking over. And you better oppose it. Okay, see, I said I would get to some articles, and I didn't, did I? I just covered one stack. Let me just get into this next stack. San Francisco Giants may ban culturally insensitive attire at AT&T Park if you wear any type of baseball, football, you name it, type attire that shows any Native American tomahawks, headdresses. You wear a headdress, you're going to be thrown out because the, quote, Native Americans, people that claim they are going to come over and henpeck you as social enforcers that you're not allowed to be wearing that. So this is the new social engineering on a mass scale, all by design. Just like I told you, not once, not twice, not 500 times, thousands of times, that after they pushed homosexuality on the public, regardless of what you think of that, regardless of what you think, here's the agenda. To sexualize children. Remember Jocelyn Elders? It's in all the textbooks. And to legalize pedophilia. The UN has legalized it. NAMBLA is part of the UN as an NGO. Look it up. And now, London Telegraph, RT, no U.S. News will criticize this. Australian judge says incest may no longer be taboo and that child molestation is okay, basically. You can go read the ruling. Well, see, that's when lawlessness comes in. Because anybody touches my children, anybody touches them, anybody tries to have sex with them or abuses them, you know what's going to happen. And this isn't premeditated, what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a default position that if you don't get justice, you're going to get justice. And they'll call that terrorism, probably have me arrested someday. Because this is where all these socialist and communist regimes end, is with your kids being run by the state for one reason and one reason alone. They want to have their way with them. What did I say yesterday and the day before? In detail. At the bottom of the rat hole of the New World Order, not a rabbit hole, but a rat hole, at the bottom of the maggot hole, the judge went on to say that incest is only criminalized because of the high chance that any resulting offspring will be born with serious birth defects, but added that even the risk falls away to an extent because there is the ease of contraception and readily access to abortion. Yeah, kill the baby after you do that. I mean, anyone, imagine being attracted to your children. That is so sick, ladies and gentlemen. That is so disgusting. Instead, in culture, it's bad to be happy your daughter gets married at 20 and goes off and has kids. That's a terrible thing. No, that's a wonderful thing. You should be excited about your sons and daughters getting married and having kids. But people are like, ugh, don't have kids. The only thing that's taboo is having kids and completing the life cycle and being fulfilled. Because they want you at an arrested development level. Because not everyone, but some people do not trigger and activate, and it's been proven genetically with epigenetics, until you have children. And I'm not saying people that have children are more advanced or better or anything on average. I'm just saying it triggers key life cycle events where you start thinking about the group, not just yourself. All right. I've covered pretty good. I haven't gotten into the huge border stack that's off the chart. Megyn Kelly calls Nancy Pelosi guilty of sexism. See, and the conservatives weigh in on this and start using political correctness, going, get him for a hate crime. A black guy killed a white guy. Just put the black guy in jail for murder. I mean, he can get the death penalty. A white guy kills a black guy, put him in jail, give him the death penalty. They said, we need hate laws passed. These Klansmen drug an old black man to death in Vidor, Texas, or whatever it was. They all got the death penalty. I mean, you just can't get any more than that. But the media would never say they had the death penalty. Be like, nothing was done. Couldn't even get a hate crime law passed in racist Texas. I would see that on CNN for years and MSNBC. They would never say, by the way, these guys are waiting to be executed. I mean, you can't do any more than that. But they wanted to pass a law where they can arrest you for your speech. And they plan to do it. They've done it in England. They've done it in Europe. And Megyn Kelly's playing along with all of it. I'm not attacking Megyn Kelly. It's just ridiculous.
Everything we said came true. Everything we've done's been right.
The Brown Berets of Metcha and La Raza will not do media interviews. I mean, nobody's got interviews with them. We got an interview. Joe Biggs got one yesterday. Video and audio's up on Infowars.com. We're going to talk to Joe Biggs, who's at the Civic Center, site of where the socialists were 2 days ago, openly saying it's Cloward and Piven. I mean, that's the headline. Socialists admit plan to collapse U.S. borders. Bring in Cloward and Piven. And they're there. Come in immigrants, because they know that demographically Latin American immigrants, not even so much Mexican immigrants, will vote for pure socialism. And, of course, the globalists are offshore and administer the socialism, so they don't care. So let's go ahead and go over here the collapsing border news of the day. Then we're going to go to break and come back to Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs. Border Patrol agent, U.S. government completing the smuggling cycle. We're going to play that clip in the next segment. Very important. In fact, I may play it now. Governor Perry, we need to secure border with a show of force. The show of force is there. The illegals show up and then are bussed by the Border Patrol, Perry, and you know that. So any more Border Patrol down there will just be to give tickets to people drinking beer on the Rio Grande. Seriously, I've witnessed it. Where the illegals walk right by them, come into the U.S., and they're writing high school students or college students tickets for beer. That's what they do, is write tickets for beer. I have it on video. On video. In the news report on it last year. So Perry knows what's going on. The Republican leadership keeps playing dumb. The Border Patrol for almost 4 months has said, stand down was ordered. I'm going to say it again. Stand down was ordered. And we have witnessed it, shown the buses, and proven it for almost 4 weeks. No action. The Border Patrol looks completely demoralized, completely freaked out. I mean, there are unlimited radical Muslims coming across, criminals, you name it. It's a joke, okay? But they got federally funded checkpoints all over the country to randomly search you and your family. What a joke. What a joke. It'd be like leaving your front door open in a bad neighborhood but tying your wife up to make sure robbers don't rape her. I mean, it's that stupid. Unless you want to control things. Unless you want to enslave people. First Lady of Guatemala says illegal immigrants, not refugees, escaping violence. She says they're entering U.S. to be united with families, not escaping conflict. Yes, the DREAM Act and all these other pieces of amnesty legislation on record. The ones Bush brought forward do the same thing. It's the same bill. Allow people here that are legal to bring anyone they want in their family. You understand that's why? Because they know they're going to be legalized. That's why they're here. And yes, their countries are hell. I mean hell. Especially where they're from. These are not the rich people of Latin America. Welcome middle-class scientists, writers, artists, whatever. You got a job, you got a skill, come up here. Single moms with 5 kids, I mean, my God, we can't help you. We're going to become that. which is the plan. Again, it's so simple. Obama creates another humanitarian catastrophe, this time in the USA. For this act, Obama may face impeachment. That's the Russian news. Studies suggest more concealed carry permits, less crime. I want to get into that separately. It got in the immigration stack. Feds investigate racist depiction of Obama as a zombie. This is on KMTV. The folks there have a sign with Obama as a zombie on an outhouse saying Presidential Library. And so the Secret Service has arrived in Norfolk, Nebraska. And it was also in a parade float on the 4th of July. And they're saying, we're the Secret Service and the DOJ, we're here to see if you're racist. Not if you're threatening the president, which has been an intimidation factor they've been using when people don't actually threaten the president. Now it's we're here to see what you have to say. Again, anti-free speech garbage. Absolute anti-free speech garbage. That's why you use it or lose it. You don't back off from this intimidation. You triple down. You don't double down. You quadruple down. You quadruple down again. All over the country, they try to arrest you for lemonade stands. Double, triple down. Support lemonade stands, watermelon stands, you name it. They try to arrest people for all sorts of garbage. You have to then stand up against it. All over the country. They're trying to shut down farmers' markets. You shop with them. There's a reason they want all of this stuff banned. They want chalking the sidewalk banned when it's clearly free speech and protected. Because they want you to stay in your house and shut up. They got judges in Dallas going door to door saying, don't protest, we're bringing illegals in, or we might arrest you. It's pure thug mafia tactics. Alex Jones here to break down some exciting developments in the area of research concerning supplemental iodine. It's nothing less than phenomenal. I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. And I used some of the mainline iodine supplements and they upset my stomach and I had some issues with it. Until I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group, who I was already interviewing as an expert on my radio show, and I began taking the product before he actually rolled it out. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals that are incredibly powerful that no one else has as a source for their iodine from between 7,000 and 12,000 feet, literally drilled out of the ground. You put it on a hot plate and it turns into the pure gas. No one else has 99.99% pure iodine. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. I was over 270 pounds. And with the iodine, exercise, and better diet, I have lost now more than 50 pounds total, and I'm continuing to lose the weight. I have more energy, my libido, all this crap came out of my skin. I believe our research is conclusive. This is the best iodine out there. And I know this for a fact. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating. This is trailblazing. And the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox special at InfoWarsLife.com.